Do you ever wonder why some people manage to accomplish their goals and others don't? Or why some people stick with something long term while others give up? A lot of it has to do with mindset. And in this video, we're gonna cover some key parts to know about changing your mindset to help you achieve your goals and make them a long-term success. Our success is most often determined by maintaining a positive attitude and reframing how we think about things so that we can behave and react different. Something that I've heard before, which I have found to be true, is that if you tell yourself you're going to fail, you're going to fail. Because what you're doing is you are pre-setting up your mind for exactly whether or not you're going to achieve or succeed or fail at something. A lot of how we think about things impacts how we approach things, and it impacts our consistency overall. How we think about things impacts how we're going to approach the particular situation, and it also impacts how we're going to behave or respond should something else come up. If we tell ourselves that we're going to fail at something, then we're going to fail. We have already set ourselves up for failure. However, if we tell ourselves that we're going to succeed and a challenge comes the way and we still hold truth, we still believe that we're going to succeed, then we are more likely to face that challenge and work to overcome that challenge than if we were just like, I don't know that I got this, and just stuck it at that. Imagine somebody following you around all day long and they are just telling you either one of two things. You can do this, you've got this, and you'll succeed. Or you're going to fail, you're not going to be able to do this, and you can't even face the challenge. If you had person A or person B following, what are your chances to succeed with person A? What are your chances of succeeding with person B? It's kind of like that in our brain. We have this little voice that follows us everywhere we go, and either it's going to tell us that we can succeed and accomplish things, or it's going to tell us that we're going to fail. If we start listening to that little voice when it's telling us we're going to fail, we have preset ourselves up for failure. So here's the thing. People who achieve success and people who achieve their goals and people who stick with things consistently do not beat themselves up on a regular basis. It only works temporarily. Over the long term, you have to change that inner critic voice to be something more positive, because humans naturally respond to more positive reinforcement than they do negative reinforcement. So maybe for the first 2 weeks, 3 months, or whatever, when telling yourself, oh, well, you don't do this, then you're a failure, you don't do this, then you're a failure, maybe that'll help then. But there's gonna be a point when that's gonna stop working for you, and you're gonna have to shift into a much more positive energy, a much more positive way of thinking, and a much more positive reinforcement to help keep you on your goal. A lot of our challenges that we have are really like here. If you can conquer here, you can conquer anything out there. This is the biggest problem that everybody faces. And especially when it comes to goals, but also when it comes to systems too. Like, we can develop the perfect system, but if we are setting ourselves up with a negative mentality and we are constantly facing that negative mentality, we're not going to get very far. The other thing I want to call out here is that changing your mindset from something more negative to something more positive, it also creates resilience, because again, when we have a challenge comes up, we're not looking at it saying, oh great, this challenge happened, now it's going to stop me. We are looking at the challenge as opportunities. So as you continue to look at challenges as opportunities for learning or how to adjust or how to shift on something, then you start to build resilience. So something comes up and you're like, you know what, I've got this, I'm going to figure this out. Something else comes up, I've got this, I'm gonna figure this out. That resilience accumulates over time, and it just adds up and adds up and adds up to the point where you're just like, well, you know what? Something big happened. Yeah, it bothers me, but it's not gonna let it stop me. That mindset builds resilience, but it also develops success and the ability to achieve your goals. So I know I kind of went on a lot here, and this is a lot of information in a very short period of time. Hopefully you found it helpful. It's a much more direct conversation, but I really feel that a lot of the challenges that we have are really just ones that we face up here. And if we can just conquer the way that we're thinking about things to build that systematic mind, then the systems that we put in place in our reality, in our tangible world, is going to be much more successful. And if you're curious on how to build systems, you can check out the link below for my free ebook. And if you like this content, please give me a like and subscribe if you'd like more.